because of time, obviously, I wanted to ask you guys, because I asked this in almost all my interviews, all the conversations I have. What is the craziest story that you've had? Like, craziest. I don't want to ask about your mistakes. I want to ask about the craziest stories you had as lawyers. You don't have to name names. Feel free to if you want. But
we'll blog the names out and just explain.
You can. I mean, feel free. It's your decision.
No, nobody. We can't name names.
So,
but I mean,
but just you blur the names out. But tell, what is the craziest story you've encountered?
Craziest. I think the craziest, the most stressful story that I have is when one of our clients was breaking down, and he didn't want to see anybody or talk to anybody but me. He didn't want to see his manager, he didn't want to see my colleagues, he didn't want to see his parents, he didn't want to see his brother, he didn't want to see anybody, he didn't want to talk to anybody but me. And he was breaking down. So because he was breaking down, he wasn't acting normally. So I had to do everything. I had to do lawyer, I had to do PA, I had to do secretary, I had to do house help, I had to do nurse, sometimes driver. I had to do it was crazy. I will wake up because I was doing a lot of things,
got emotional.
So let's just cut it. Let somebody else just said I don't embarrass myself when it was crazy. It was crazy. It was draining emotionally, physically, sometimes financially, because this guy was going through a lot. I couldn't leave him. He wouldn't even allow me leave him. Yet I was suffering as well, and and at some point I just decided to get medical help.
For him or yourself?
For him. No, trust me, no, it wasn't that bad for me. And at the end of the day, the guy
bounced back.
said to me, end of my story.
That's why she's not nice.
The person burnt a bridge. I don't even know if I know the person. I don't know the
you
person.
don't.
Okay, so here is my own situation. Abimbola Fakeye. I drove a client to the hands of another law firm, myself, to deliver him under the pretense of having a meeting. Now let's just go have a meeting. I have an uncle in this law firm. Then I drove the clients. I drove the clients to them, and they were asking questions like they just wanted to know if everything was good.
Situation.
You understand? And I made it so well that they had the they had. The funny thing is, I sorted the whole situation. Do you get? I went to court. I sorted the whole situation up to the level of the record label was asking for a meeting so that they could resolve the matter because they knew. I mean, I went with the preliminary objection. You know what I mean by preliminary? And the preliminary objection was, it's a no-brainer. We're going to, we're going through with it. If your opponent that said, we're going to die here, calls you to say, you know what, let's resolve.
Yeah.
And at that point, then they were like, let's have a meeting somewhere. This talent called me to go for a meeting with him. I drove my own car to pick him. I went there, we sat for the meeting, And while we were leaving the place, and I was like, I wasn't really comfortable with the amount of questions that was asked. I was like, come on, don't even bother about them. Do you think I can sit with these people? You that I sit down with you every day to, you marshal all the points. I smoke next to you.
Is heartless.
You understand? I smoke next to you. Can I smoke in front of these people? I can't now. I'm only giving him the respect as my uncle. Then from there, I started calling, and I heard they had a meeting. So I called the talent, and he was like, didn't they give me a copy of the resolution? Then I called the law firm. I'm like, you went for this meeting without me. What's up? Well, they cannot give me. It's a privileged information. They can't give me their clients.
Wow.
And the sad part of it was that when I started this situation, I did not even bill this guy. He had nothing at the time. So it was one of the guys around him that said, you know what? Let's start this matter. Take this 150. So I don't even know how much he's owing me. It's that bad. I don't have an idea how much he's owing me now.
Man, that's tough. That's actually tough. Yeah,
and that's not the only one. I had different ones.
Wow. Akinyemi looks like, which one do I pick from? Akinyemi looks like, which one do I pick from?
I think I can, from what Yemisi said, I think mental stress, mental health, and drug abuse is becoming a very, very serious
industry
problem that we find now. And even mine, what I want to talk about is something happened like, I think, November or December. One of my clients just called me midnight, said, man, I'm stressed, I'm using too much, we need to see. Like, I could tell from his voice that for you to open up that way, then it was really, really serious. And I think anyone who's watching now, if you work in entertainment, if you're a musician, if you're a songwriter, with the creativity, they tend to push themselves over and over. There's hardly any music producer or songwriter who's not maybe abusing, maybe 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. Heavily, week in, week out. And the sad thing is, sometimes they are making money, but they can't just pause things, come out of their world, and try to enjoy this money, or even go on a vacation or relax. So there's a need to distress. There's also a need to cut down abusing drugs, whatever, pills, and the likes. And we should also teach it. A lot of them don't even care for medical assistance. Driving down here, one of them told me that he's self-medicating. He's been down for 10 days. I said, have you gone to the hospital? And he's like, I always self-medicate. I'm sorry if you're watching this, but really, this is something we can all learn from. A lot of creatives are not taking care of themselves because they're always about the chase. And the problem is this: if you don't have structure, you would always be about the chase. If you have structure, sometimes you can get help. You can collaborate with other people. Now, thankfully, you have a lawyer. Now, how about getting other people? If you're 10 years in the game, you should be able to have maybe a producer with 2 years or 3 years. Let them work with you so you can delegate things. You should be able to relax for a weekend and not work and not be pressured to make money. But many of them always about chasing the next pay, chasing the next opportunity. So I think that's still a crazy experience that I find. There's also this experience. One of them was really, really high and came to our office at Dolphin. I was shouting, beating the table, there wasn't any need. And then all my other partners came to the office what's going on? I say, we're all right. So, But all these things don't scare me because I know it comes with the terrain, and I know a lot of people have crazy ass stories. So
Yeah. So I mean, I think just to round it off.
Can I just say one more quickly?
Okay.
Because I mean, we're cool now.
Mm.
My first bite into the disappointments of entertainment business was someone very close to me. His first contract called me to his place to read through. We made photocopies. And I didn't have a car when I was talking. I'm talking about maybe 2011 or so. I didn't have a car at the time. So I went to him. We made copies of the agreements. I read through. And how much were they going to give? It was big money then, trust me. 3.5 million for, I think it was for 2 or 3 years. 2 years. So I read through. We agreed. When you proofread and you feel this is good, you pay me 200,000. That would have been, because I mean, how much was I earning? That would have been big money to me then. So I took this contract. I went on. I rushed because I just wanted to see, and I still have that in me. I'll prefer to do your job and you're the one owing me than you pay me. While I'm the one owing you my own legal service I'm supposed to render. So I read through. I gave my guy pointers on what and what should ask them to change. You know, at the time it was BBM. I mean, I knew he read those messages. I mean, he obviously read the messages because I was seeing updates. Not like he deleted me. I was seeing updates and everything. At some point, you know how bad you feel. You know how bad you'll be feeling at the point where you send to someone, but you know I'm not hungry. You know, if you have to tell the client, I'm not begging you for money. I'm only asking you to pay me. And my guy was reading this stuff. And it was so bad, you know. And I saw the way he posted what they did after they signed. So I guess he waited for me to do my job, and it went on. Later, he called later to apologize, and we're very good now. But guess what? It was another guy that was around him that said, look at the lawyer. We have a lawyer that's been servicing these people, some people for a long time. He's a better lawyer. Why? Look at that guy. See, you're the one entering boss to come and collect file from you, and you want to use that one. So my guy was just like, I mean, why can't I have a lawyer that is driving, that is, you know? That was an experience too. I would never forget because I'm close to this guy now. It will never happen again because we've done a lot. But that time it was a big deal. I mean, I'm a vindictive person. You know? I was hoping the whole record label will crash and something will just happen. I'll be there and be like, look. I mean, I wanted something to happen and we'll be like, thank you, but
the heart of man is wicked.
So I mean, I think the essence. I mean, to sort of wrap it up, the essence of this conversation wasn't because I wanted to call my lawyer friends who know I have people in the, but it was mainly because I know people who, when I do my trainings and I take people to law firms, I know people who visited Acres Law when I took them and decided I'm going to go back to law school. There are a lot of people in the industry trying to fit into things that they haven't, just because they haven't been shown the right experience of what it could be. So I wanted people to also look at this from that perspective and say, look, there are opportunities. That's part of why I asked about how you guys eat, how you make money, because people can't see it because there are no references, and I think that's one of the biggest issues. I'm talking to people who we don't properly celebrate in the media. So you have you guys who have done so much for musicians and for other people or celebrities that nobody really talks about, right? I've had many people on the show who usually just go about their business doing what they do. But the important thing, which is the end of this conversation, is young people need to be able to reference those roles that are being played so that it's easy for them to dream. It's easy for them to see the possibility, but also recognize that it's not easy. It's not Akinyemi. When Akinyemi was talking, he talked about 12 years ago when he was trying to get books. you've been talking. Yemisi has been here for a long time, and people see what's going on outside, but they want a piece of that. And I felt like this conversation was extremely essential, and I want to thank you guys for. See, guys, that's how busy they are since they came. Phones have been ringing, even if it's just Abibola's phone. Phones have been ringing. But I want to thank you guys for making out time. Sorry about the traffic you're about to meet, and and thank you so much for braving it and coming through. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome,
and
brother.
keep up the good work, Godwin. You are like an inspiration to many people.
Thank you.
Keep it coming, and we trust you to do more.
Our lawyer.
Every time we meet, there's always something to talk about.
Always,
man. A lot to talk about.
London, like I did the other time.
You know,
next one
we're
is
in London.
France.
let's do Greece.
We can do these things. We can always do these things, brother.
I've been now.
Fantastic. So I need to. I've held Yemisi for too long. I need to let Yemisi go. Well, thank you guys so much.
Alrighty.
Have a lovely
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
Bless.
Appreciate.
Thank you.